compliance with the federal government and without a compliance of this current rule.
Are there any public comments with regard to regulation 47-904? I see none. Mr. Maroney?
Regulation 47-906, titled Container Size. This comes to us from the liquor industry working groups and the rulemaking working groups. There was a request to decrease the minimum amount of container size sold at an on-premises liquor establishment from 750 milliliters to 375 milliliters for both wine and spirits. The division vetted this fully through the industry, and both the division and industry agreed that this is a positive thing for Colorado and does not create any kind of enforcement issues. So we agreed to decrease the container size sold in an on-premise location from 750 to 375.
Are there any public comments with regard to regulation 47-906? I see none. Mr. Maroney?
Regulation 47-908, titled Automatic and Electronic Dispensing Systems. This rule also came out of the liquor industry working group sessions earlier this year, where current rule now states that no electronic dispensing system can be operated by anybody but the licensee or their employees. The industry came to the division earlier this year and asked for a change to that to allow some systems with certain standards built in to be able to provide automatic dispensing to patrons of the establishment. A working group and a sub-working group was developed and discussed this item a lot. It was fully vetted. And the division and industry were able to come up with a draft rule that I proposed today that provides that guidance. In essence, what it does, it allows a patron to be able to have two either malt liquors, or I shouldn't say two, I should say, let me back up here. They're able to get 32 ounces of malt liquor, 14 ounces of vinous liquor, which is wine, or 2 ounces of spirits liquor at a time through an electronic dispensing system with certain things in place for age verification and over-service verification and no over-service. So this rule, as requested, provides that. The division does not believe this creates an enforcement issue, but we will be looking at it.
Are there any public comments with regard to regulation 47-908? I see none. Mr. Maroney?
Mr. Parman, I'd like to take the next two, which is in regulation 47-940 and 47-942 together.
Okay.
So I believe there's going to be some public comment on both of those regulations. So if I could go ahead and discuss, bring both of them into the record, and at that point maybe have public comment.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
go ahead.
can we go back one? There's a typo in 47-908.
There's a typo in 47-908.
Five. And not be able to.
Dispense. Just add the word be.
Would be dispensed.
Not be able to.
No, that's right. That's right. To be dispensed, not able to be dispensed.
Right, let's do that.
Yes, okay, thank you. We'll go back to 47-908. Under paragraph C5, there seems to be a typo or a letter or a word missing. So if I could read that into the record here. In its entirety under paragraph C5, I'll read it as we are requesting to add the word be. No alcohol shall be dispensed past the time in accordance to sections 12-47-901, paragraph 5, or 12-47-301, paragraph 10, paragraph F, comma, CRS, and any undispensed alcohol after such time will be forfeited and not be able to be dispensed at a later time. Period. This paragraph 5 does not prohibit a refund of unused credit to a consumer. So in essence, we're adding the word be after the word to on line number 2.
Does
Good?
On the last sentence there, this paragraph 5 does or does not? I believe you stated does not.
Does not.
So the word not should be included as well?
Yes, it does. Not. Thank you for that catch.
Are there any public comment with regard to the addition of the word be or the word not in regulation 47-908? I see none. Mr. Martin?
Okay, back to regulations 47, 940, and 942. I'll discuss both of those together and we'll go from there. It's titled, 47-940 is titled Powder Alcohol - Packaging and Labeling. Colorado law was passed this year that mandated the Liquor Enforcement Division and Department of Revenue to promulgate rules for the regulation of powdered alcohol. And powdered alcohol is a new item within the country and the state of Colorado, but there's a lot of, I want to say, controversy or issues with. Division decided to take the best step with working groups, several working group meetings, to try to come up with regulations that would be within the letter and spirit of the law given to regulate powdered alcohol since it's a new product. We had countless meetings to try to do that. One thing the division felt was that we were limited on the abilities of how to regulate powdered alcohol since it is defined as a spirituous liquor under Colorado Revised Statute. But these two rules are being drafted and requested that came from those working groups. The rules requested were done by consensus, but understand the limitations we have. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read these into record, so we have them all on record here. So under 47-940, titled Powder Alcohol - Packaging and Labeling, it reads, packaging - powdered alcohol, or packaging, and then it says dash, powdered alcohol packaging shall not be used that specifically targets individuals under the age of 21. Labeling dash, any manufactured package of powdered alcohol as defined in section 12-47-103, subsection 23.7 CRS, shall have the following words, in bold, this product is an alcohol beverage. In legible, bold-faced letters with a maximum of 27-point, minimum of 27-point sized font. Inside a bold, outlined border with a minimum dimension of 3 1/2 inches by 1/2 inch. The wording and outline must be a part of the permanent manufactured packaging of the powdered alcohol product. That is 47-940. Regulation 47-942, titled Powdered Alcohol Regulation. Pursuant to section 12-47-103, subsection 36, CRS, powdered alcohol is defined as a spirituous liquor. Therefore, all regulations pertaining to spirituous liquor apply to powdered alcohol. New paragraph. Powdered alcohol is defined in section 12-47-103, paragraph 23.7, CRS, which is not manufactured and intended for use as an alcohol beverage, shall not be subject to regulation set forth within 1 CCR 203-2. Uses may include, parentheses, but are not limited to, parentheses, industrial, research hospitals, educational institutions, and pharmaceutical or biotechnical technology companies conducting bona fide research. New paragraph. Powdered alcohol sold or dispensed at a business license for on-premises consumption must be fully reconstituted as instructed on the label prior to being served. New paragraph. For the purpose of Colorado Liquor Rules 1 CCR 203-2, the liquid volume of powdered alcohol shall be the amount of fully reconstituted liquid per directed on the manufactured packaging for each powdered alcohol product.
All right, any public comments with regard to regulations 47-940 and 47-942? Yes, ma'am, come forward, please. If you would just state your name and spell your name for the record.
Sure. Sonia Riggs, SONIARIGGS. I'm with the Colorado Restaurant Association. Our members make up nearly half of the 10,800 restaurants in Colorado, and who employ almost 260,000 people. I'm here today to ask you to postpone the adoption of the proposed regulations on powdered alcohol. We have very serious concerns about the proposed regulations about powdered alcohol. Throughout the stakeholder process, we expressed these, and not only did the Restaurant Association express those concerns, but I feel like all the other stakeholders at the table also expressed similar concerns. Specifically regarding the ease of the concealment with this product and the potential for its misuse by customers, including minors, in a liquor licensed establishment. Although I do believe these concerns were discussed, we felt that we didn't have adequate time to really fully vet this product, and as a result didn't feel like these rules were able to mitigate the concerns of us and other stakeholders. We feel like these concerns are very real for a product that has been designated to be taken with you wherever you go, as it says on the package by the only known manufacturer of alcohol. Furthermore, the testimony from the manufacturer in one of the stakeholder meetings claimed that the formula used to make this product can be manipulated to be more concentrated and therefore smaller and even easier to conceal. Because the proposed regulations coming from the Liquor Enforcement Division currently do not mitigate the concerns of on-premise liquor license establishments, as well as many other stakeholders, we again request that the Liquor Enforcement Division postpone the adoption of the proposed regulations on powdered alcohol until a more thoughtful and deliberate process for regulation of the sale, distribution, possession, manufacture, and import of this product can be established and addressed that really may address those concerns in a more thoughtful way. I think it's important again to just reiterate that no one in the stakeholder group, with the exception of the manufacturer, who is an out-of-state company, actually supported this product, or I really feel like nobody's concerns were adequately addressed. I do have before me, the other thing I think it's important to mention is that 26 other states have banned this product in the United States, and according to the manufacturer that came to testify one day before the stakeholder group, we are the furthest along in regulating the product, and we are really the only ones in the world that will be allowing the outright, basically, manufacture and distribution of the product in our state. And I, for one, can tell you that our members don't really feel comfortable that we, again, will be the guinea pig, especially with the fact that we felt like, due to the constraints that liquor enforcement felt like were put upon them, that we really needed to kind of push this process forward. So I'm asking for more time. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that two things. We actually have a petition here that I'd like to put forth as a record for today's hearing, if I can. I've got that here. This is signed by more than 180 restaurants and members of the Colorado Restaurant Association. In addition to that, we've also been asked to add the Colorado Beer Distributors Association, the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of Colorado, and the Bar Owners Associations to the petition, although it's not reflected there. I'm happy to get you an updated petition reflecting those if you would like, or I don't know if it's appropriate just stating it for the record.
I think it,
Yeah.
if I might, Hearing Officer Parman, I think it would absolutely be okay. You have until December 10th to
Okay.
submit additional information. I think that's completely relevant.
Great, we will do that, thank you. That's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
Mr. Corman, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What would you think would be adequate time to vet this in a more thoughtful, thorough process? What do you believe would be reasonable?
Well, our preference would be another year, because, you know, as we know, once the legislative session gets started, basically all of the stakeholders are not really available from January through May. So we would respectfully request a year, and I think that would give us time next summer to be able to kind of take another look at these rules in a more adequate way and be able to more thoroughly vet them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I may, Mr. Maroney, I have a question regarding the powdered alcohol regulations. You mentioned that these were the result of legislative changes.
Yes.
Did the legislature mandate a date by which these rules needed to be promulgated?
No, they did not.
Okay. Thank you. Additional public comments, Mr. Is it Mearsman?
Yes, thank you.
Come forward, please.
So my name is Pete Mearsman. I'm a Chief Strategy Officer for Colorado Restaurant Association. I'm going to come at this from kind of a different angle than Sonia. And my comments do concern 47-100H, which is the definition, 47-940, and 47-942. I think that what you've heard and what you will hear is that we all agree that powdered alcohol is a potentially dangerous product to Colorado citizens. Allowing the sale of this product will also allow the opportunity for misuse of the product. It's not been legalized in any other state. It's already been banned in many other states, and as far as we know, it's that if we allow the use of this product, it will be the only place in the world that the product is allowed to be used. So here's why we're opposed to the draft rule. First of all, we believe that the bill language does not fit under the bill title. The title of House Bill 15-1031 is concerning a ban on powdered alcohol. We submit that the language in the bill creating a mechanism for allowing rules to be adopted which regulate the manufacture, purchase, sale, possession, and use of powdered alcohol are clearly contrary to the title of the bill. Secondly, House Bill 15-1031, in the bill, powdered alcohol is defined as alcohol that is prepared or sold in a powder or crystalline form for either direct use or reconstitution. I question what exactly does direct use mean if it's not reconstituted, and why did the legislature write the language that way? To me, it's very curious. What is direct use versus constitution or reconstitution? House Bill 15-1031 also states that the division shall adopt rules establishing a mechanism for regulating powdered alcohol. It does not say that the Liquor Enforcement Division must adopt rules for distribution, use, sale of this product. It says that the Liquor Enforcement Division shall establish a mechanism to regulate this product. The rule being considered today will regulate manufacture, purchase, sale, possession, and use of this product without first establishing a mechanism for doing so as required in the bill. It's anticipated, or I would anticipate, that the mechanism, which must be set up by the Liquor Enforcement Division according to this bill, will ultimately result in a set of rules and regulations as well as interpretive policies and guidelines to be administered and enforced by the division. The mechanism may also include such things as the appointment of an advisory panel consisting of local licensing authorities, members of the public, law enforcement representatives, existing liquor industry representatives, substance abuse agencies, and powdered alcohol industry representatives convened to assist in drafting and oversight of the rules, regulations, policies, guidelines. The rule-making process for establishing a mechanism for regulation has not yet been initiated. When the mechanism is established, then the division may propose rules and regulations concerning this product. Number 3, rulemaking. Some of the issues which we believe should be considered in the rulemaking for powdered alcohol, but which are currently not addressed in the proposed draft rule, are the following. Packaging color. A requirement that packaging include reconstitution instructions, product color, limitations on product size, child-proof packaging, hours of sale, days of sale, venues for sale, restrictions on sale, reconstitution allowed or required, consumption of product, ingestion as liquid, ingestion as powder, through the nose or mouth, inhalation, injection, what is legal use of this product. Penalties for misuse by consumers, disciplinary actions and penalties for manufacturers, distributors, and retailers, sale to minors, sale to intoxicated patrons, use by intoxicated patrons, manufacturer showroom sales, donation of product, record keeping, manufacturer, distributor, and retail licensing and compliance, local option, prohibited licensees, unlawful financial assistance, excise tax collection and responsibility, duties of inspectors and state or local law enforcement, recommended punishment matrices by violators of regulatory requirements. And fourth, I want to go back to regulated like alcohol. And that's why I brought the definition up earlier. I think it's a mistake to regulate this product like alcohol. It's much different than alcohol. It's a powder, not a liquid. It can enter the body in a variety of ways. We request that LED consider regulating this as a different product than liquid alcohol. In summary, the fact that this product has been banned in many other states should be a concern to the division. On behalf of Colorado Restaurant Association and its members, we urge LED to step back and take the time to determine if the bill language fits under the bill title, establish an appropriate mechanism to adopt rules for this product, fully consider the differences between alcohol in powdered form and liquid form, and how those differences apply to and interact with the current regulations and statutes on liquid alcohol in Colorado. Consider whether or not powdered alcohol should be regulated in a different manner than liquid alcohol, and gain understanding of the reasons this product has been banned in other states. The hearing officers already said that the hearing will be kept open until, I think, December 10th. That was one of our requests. So that's my testimony, and I'm happy to try to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments from the division?
Same questions for Ms. Riggs. How long do you think it would be reasonable in your thought to be able to vet this in the way that?
Well, I agree with Sonia that another year would be good, but if we get pushed back up to this January deadline when we're all going to be in the legislature again, that could be a problem. So, sometime after the legislature's over and before, possibly before the next session starts.
So a year from now, then, approximately.
A year from now, I think would be adequate.
Okay.
Hope it is.
I have one other
We're
question.
dealing with an unknown.
Mr. Mearsman, we appreciate your testimony. Will you be submitting some of that information in written format to us?
Yeah, I can.
Do you
leave
anticipate
with-
you will? It would be very helpful.
I can leave you with, yes.
Go ahead, I'll receive that as part of the record.
That's basically what I said.
Terrific.
And if I didn't state previously, I have received what Mr. Riggs submitted as well. The restaurant industry petition on powdered alcohol will be part of the record as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Could the division need a copy of that?
We'll make copies.
Yeah.
That's fine. Any additional public comment with regard to regulations 47-940 and 47-942? I see no additional comments. Mr. Maroney?
Thank you. Next one on the agenda is Regulation 47-1016, titled Special Event Permitting Purchase and Storage of Alcohol Beverages. Changes to this rule come two different ways. One is adding distillery pub, is because of the new distillery pub license. We added that license type to be able to sell to special event permittees. And then under paragraph F, this came to about us during the the liquor industry working groups to provide clarity to wholesalers delivering alcohol to special event permit holders So I'm gonna read this because it's a brand new rule. I'm gonna read this in the record. Paragraph F. A licensed wholesaler may deliver alcohol beverages purchased by a special event permittee to the storage location in accordance to paragraphs A, B, C, and D. But such storage cannot be more than 2 business days prior to the date for the special event, period. If a licensed wholesaler donates alcohol to the special event permittee, the wholesaler may pick up such unused donated alcohol beverage products from the storage area in accordance to paragraphs A, B, C, and D, period. Such removal of unused donated alcohol beverage products must occur within 2 business days after the end of the special event permit. So what this does is 2 years ago, we added the ability to have a storage area that is separate from the licensed area before the event occurs. And this rule clarifies the fact that delivery can take place to those storage areas as designated in the special event permit application.
Are there any public comments with regard to Regulation 47-1016? I see none. Mr. Maroney?
Regulation 47-1020, titled Alcohol Beverage Donations. This comes to us as well because of the Distillery Pub Bill in law, and we added the list of distillery pubs to the list of wholesalers defined under alcohol beverage donations. So the distillery pubs can donate to special event permittees.
Are there any public comments with regard to Regulation 47-1020? I see none. Does that conclude the presentation, Mr. Maroney?
That includes the requested rule changes. Yes, it does.
All right, are there any other speakers who would wish to address any of the proposed regulations which have been discussed here today? Yes, sir, come forward, please.
I need to sign in, I didn't sign in previously.
Okay.
My name is David Wrights, the last name is spelled R-E-I-T-Z, in the Tavern League of Colorado. And I would just go back to Regulation 47-500 excise tax audits. And I apologize for coming back on this a little bit after the fact, but I thought the division may want to consider it. Perhaps it was discussed and I missed it in the work group meetings, but there may be a need or at least consideration of adding vintner's restaurant license. It looks like you're adding kind of those combination brew pub and distillery pub, which are retail licensees, and perhaps I missed it someplace, but vintner's restaurant license perhaps added to that same regulation for the excise tax audits, and I'll let the division decide whether or not that would make sense for them to maybe want to add that or not, but I thought I'd just bring that comment forward.
All right, thank you, sir.
Division will definitely look at that and take that under consideration.
I'll sign.
Any additional comments regarding the proposed regulations? All right, I see none. Are there any other matters to be considered concerning the proposed regulations, either from the public or the division?
The division would like to say that I want to thank everybody in the industry, in this room, of course, and then other industry members of the time we spent all summer long in drafting some of these rules. It definitely, the division appreciates your input, and we continue to make this process one that's open and transparent to the industry, so that there's clear lines of what we're going to do as a division and give input from the industry. So I want to say thank you to those people involved.
All right, and as a reminder, the record will be open until December 10th at 5 p.m. for the submission of any additional written comments. And with that, that will conclude this formal rulemaking hearing. Thank you all.